Hi, I'm Rachel Thomas-Medwid. I'm here at the 43rd AMS Broadcast Conference, and joining me is Matthew Cappucci. He's from Plymouth, Massachusetts, and he will be doing a presentation on the emergency alert system, communicating the message. And this will be Matthew's fifth and sixth. You're giving two presentations.
Correct.
So fifth and sixth time presenting. And I wanted to note that he is only 17, so that is quite notable. And I've seen him present, and it's not only his age, he's an excellent presenter. So can you tell me a little bit about how at such a young age you became involved in AMS and coming to the broadcast conference?
That's a great question. So it's really fortuitous, in fact, because a couple years ago when we had that conference in Boston, it was so abnormal to have it in August, but I just came from weather camp in DC with Mike Mogul, who runs a weather camp down there, and that happened to be in July. And had the conference been in June, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to the conference, but fortunately it was in August. It just so happened to be in Boston, so that's how I became involved in AMS, and it's really been like that ever since.
That's excellent. We're actually interviewing Mike Mogul later.
We'll
talk about those weather camps. So did you enjoy that experience?
Absolutely. It was really nice because as interested as I am in meteorology, I always thought that I was kind of unique in that, but to be around other kids my age who love meteorology and love weather as much as I do was an incredible experience. Whenever there was a thunderstorm, everybody was outside, everybody was at the windows, everybody was recording videos, and that's one of the things that was really nice and memorable about that experience.
That's great. So can you tell us about your presentation? Let us about the emergency alert system and communication.
Absolutely. So I have two presentations going on this year. One is on the emergency alert system, as you mentioned, and last year I really did a large critique about the content of severe weather warnings, and this year it's more in the structure and how people react to the structure of severe weather warnings. I ended up trying to do an investigation myself. I had 140 different people who I interviewed and who I asked questions to regarding different aspects of severe weather warnings, and that will be something that you'll see in the presentation. So I do have some good data, some good statistics to see what works, what doesn't work, and that's something that I hope to examine in the presentation.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Your other presentation?
Yes. So the other one I'm co-authoring with Mr. Mogul, and it actually started with his wife, Barbara Levine, who one day remarked that she thought hurricanes were, in a sense, smart because she noticed that they came ashore a little bit more often towards high tide. And there wasn't really data at the time to support that. There wasn't really any investigation that had been conducted into that. So for that reason, we ended up doing a project to see if that assumption is true. And I can tell you right now, I'll give you a brief preview saying there's a 2-to-1 more or less ratio between the hurricanes that come ashore during high tide and low tide, but of course we have many more variables that will be examined during that presentation, so definitely stay tuned for that one.
That sounds very interesting. So I'm looking forward to both of your presentations.
Thank you very much
for joining us here.
Absolutely, thank you very much. It's been a privilege.